This is an oyster aguachile. It is the perfect antidote for your what am I serving to my friends this weekend for lunch spring blues, or technically greens. I'll show you how to make it. Today, like I said, aguachile, which literally translates to fire water, water of fire, because of the chilies. Serrano, always very spicy. Jalapeno, sometimes spicy, sometimes not. Depends on how much water was falling in the days before it was picked. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna puree the jalapeno in the blender along with salt and citrus juice and some herbs. We're gonna make a bath for our fresh oysters. I'm using oysters today. Aguachiles can be made with any kind of seafood. I'm really partial to oysters, especially beautiful raw shucked ones like these. And then we're gonna decorate it and make it look super, super pretty with some shallots and some herbs, and that's really it, start to finish. So the most important thing is just to start to build our little world of ingredients. I'm just gonna process everything that I have here on the table. Some of it is going to go into the blender, and because it's going in the blender, I'm just gonna quarter these, and I'm just going to take this sort of large section of membrane and seeds out. Utilize the rest. You'll notice when it comes to the Serrano, I don't take the seeds and membrane out because a Serrano chili is very, very citrusy and delicious in terms of the membrane and seeds, and I like them. They're very, very edible. Serrano we'll slice later for our garnish. I'm gonna see if I can pop open this shallot. I can. And I'm going to peel this shallot very carefully because I want to preserve the rings of it and get sort of the most bang for my buck from this shallot. And I just want to thinly slice about a third of this. And a shallot like this can have a lot of big sulfur impact on your eyes, flavor-wise. And in a raw dish like this, and I do this even when I'm making salads and I want to be extra elegant, I don't want it to overwhelm the entire dish. So I just put them in a little cup of cool water. And I'm gonna pluck them out of there and dry them, but it takes that little excess sulfuric onion vibe out of there. I don't want any seeds to be pureed in my sauce, and I'm using orange and lemon in my aguachile. And even though these oranges are quote unquote seedless, there's nothing worse than that one random seed turning around in there and getting pureed and making my final dish bitter. And what the orange does, it provides a little bit of sweetness, obviously a lot of orange and citrus flavor, without being too tart. That's the job of my lemon. I think I just need one. Same deal. I'm gonna gently squeeze this lemon. You can use lemon. Traditionally, this is done with lime juice. Chef Claudette, I don't want any angry emails. The queen of aguachile will see this and she'll pester me from her rooftop lair in San Diego. Tell me it's a lime juice vibe, but I've seen her books use lemon juice too, so I'm okay. And we are done. So I have, I don't know, about a third of a cup of citrus juice. That's gonna go in there. I'm gonna wanna put a little bit of cilantro. I'm gonna wanna put just a little bit of mint. We're gonna decorate with a little cilantro and mint when the time comes. I'm going to take a little garlic clove, not a big one, a little one, because remember, raw garlic is so strong. And I'm just gonna take a piece of that garlic. Not even a lot, just like a fifth of a clove. and put that in there because I do like that little bit of garlic flavor that's in there, and just a little bit of olive oil. And the reason that I do this is just to soften the flavor a little bit, extend the volume out in here so it's a little easier to puree. Oh, forgot the most important ingredient. Salt. Like leche de tigre, tiger's milk, that's used in a lot of ceviches, you want to put about a teaspoon of good salt in there. You want it to be salty. Turn that on, and I just hit pulse. And slowly but surely, color, isn't it? And then I look around for a spoon, and if you don't have any, I pour a little bit into the palm of my hand. And just a little more salt. That is delicious. And all of these ingredients were cold. I want to serve everything icy cold. And as you can see here, just put enough to fill the bottom of your bowl. That's it. Super simple. Not very hard at all. This is not a soup. This is a sauce. I'm going to lay 5 oysters in there. These are beautiful, fat, Pacific oysters, and you can just put them into a star pattern like so. That's a nice appetizer portion, don't you think? I have some minced celery, which I love. Celery, cucumber, either one. I love the flavor of both. I love the look of both, but I invite people to eat this with a spoon so they get a lot of sauce, and that way you get some of those crunchy bits. What else works great? Little English cucumbers, radishes with a bright red skin and a pale white interior are fantastic. I throw a little bit of chive around there, same reason. Great flavor, looks beautiful, right? I'm gonna put 5 cilantro leaves. I'm not trying to hide anything. I just wanna mimic the flavor and give everyone something delicious to bite into. And the one thing that I'm minding here, I'm not big on rules, but I'm trying to put the stem end of the cilantro leaf into the middle so the frilled end is on the outside. Take a very sharp knife, and if you don't get a really smooth cut first time out, just hone it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I can just place those. Notice I don't need a tweezer. And I also don't care if they're off center. I'm sort of placing them all the same spot, sort of around the base of that cilantro leaf. And then the last thing that I want to do is my shallot. And it's kind of fun just to lean them on the same side, and I'm kind of using those 5 slices that all kind of look the same, and just sort of prop them up the same way. If you want to be an amateur Top Chef contestant and use a tweezer, by all means, go ahead. But that is it already has plenty of salt in that sauce. And then sometimes what I'll do is just throw the barest little drizzle of olive oil just in a couple places so that you kind of see those golden shiny puddles, translucent, like little tiny stained glass elements. Super simple. I mean, start to finish. It took me about 5 minutes to gather my ingredients from the vegetable crisper and about 30 seconds to get this out of my shelf. Easy peasy. And you can make these right before your guests come in, put them in the refrigerator if you're gonna do this for dinner, but it's a lot of fun when everyone's sort of sitting around the counter and you can make it for yourself. So, there you have it. Beautiful oyster aguachile, a great summertime seafood item. Beautiful, springy, summerish, depending on where you're living, right? And you can use shrimp, you can use leftover cold poached fish, shuck clams, oysters, it does not matter. Seafood, though, is what does matter. It's perfect with seafood. Don't get crazy. Don't start doing chicken aguachile. It does not work. Enjoy.